Building on the success of two popular Bond movies, the franchise soared to new heights with the release of Goldfinger in 1964. Its immense popularity caused theaters to run the film continuously for 24 hours to keep up with the overwhelming demand. Despite the film's commercial triumph, behind the scenes, and in later years, some of the cast members who worked with Sean Connery, especially Honor Blackman, expressed critical views about the experience. In his final years, Honor Blackman spoke openly about her time working on the film, revealing her harsh feelings toward Connery. She felt that he often put on a tough exterior and was difficult on set, which contrasted sharply with her own approach to acting and collaboration. Blackman also commented on how the intense atmosphere affected the cast's relationships during filming. As time went on, her opinions grew sharper, reflecting her disappointment in how the production was handled and her feelings about Connery's attitude. Her honest critique shed new light on the world behind the glamorous image of the Bond films and the personalities involved. These comments fascinated many fans and historians as they offered a glimpse into the often complex relationships among legendary actors during that era. Her words painted a different picture of a film that had cemented its place in cinematic history. Since its release in 1964, Goldfinger has become a legendary film within the James Bond series. According to Guinness World Records, it is recognized as the fastest-grossing movie ever made at the time. This means that from the moment it premiered, it earned a remarkable amount of money in a very short period, proving its immense popularity with audiences around the world. The movie's success helped solidify its place in film history and set a high standard for commercial performance. Many fans and critics consider Sean Connery's performance as James Bond in Goldfinger to be his best work. It was his third appearance as the iconic secret agent, and his portrayal truly defined the character for many viewers. Connery's charismatic and confident image, combined with his cool and composed attitude, brought Bond to life in a way that made the character unforgettable. People often see Goldfinger as one of the best films in the franchise because of Connery's compelling performance and the film's exciting story. Throughout the movie, Connery's Bond exudes charm and intelligence, but he also shows strength and daring when facing danger. His performance was instrumental in making Goldfinger a huge success, and in establishing many of the traditions and themes that would continue in later films. The film's engaging plot, memorable villains, and stunning action scenes all contribute to its reputation, but Connery's role remains a key highlight. Overall, Goldfinger not only set a record for rapid earnings, but also helped define Sean Connery as the ultimate James Bond for many fans. His portrayal in this film is often seen as the epitome of the suave, confident secret agent that became the standard for many movies that followed. The film's historical importance is still acknowledged today, and Connery's role continues to influence how people think of James Bond. Building on the story of Goldfinger, the film was adapted from the 1959 novel written by Ian Fleming, which introduced the world to James Bond. The movie showcases the daring adventures of the secret agent as he battles against the villainous Auric Goldfinger, played by Gert Frobe, a criminal mastermind with a plan to contaminate the gold supply and cause economic chaos. The character of James Bond is portrayed by Sean Connery, whose portrayal helped cement the character in popular culture and set the standard for future films. Alongside him, Honor Blackman takes on the role of Pussy Galore, a skilled pilot and Bond girl with a sharp wit and strength, making her a memorable part of the film. Shirley Eaton is widely remembered for her role as Jill Masterson, a Bond girl whose iconic appearance involved being covered in gold paint, a scene that became one of the most recognizable images from the film. Her character's brief but striking appearance added to the allure and mystique of the film's glamorous world. The film's combination of action, intrigue, and memorable characters made it a classic and established the pattern for future Bond movies. The adaptation retained many elements of Fleming's novel, while adding visual flair and exciting sequences that captured audiences worldwide. From the villain's elaborate schemes to Bond's clever tactics, Goldfinger remains a pivotal film in the spy genre, with its cast and Shirley Eaton's iconic performance adding to its lasting appeal. In 1964, the film Goldfinger was created with a focus on both its filming locations and set design. Interestingly, Sean Connery, who played James Bond, never traveled to the United States for filming. All the scenes that took place in the U.S. were actually shot at Pinewood Studios in London. This studio was well known for its ability to create realistic sets that looked like real American locations. One of the most famous sets built there was the Fort Knox set, which portrayed the secretive and heavily guarded U.S. gold repository. The set was so detailed and accurate that it looked almost like the real Fort Knox. To make sure nothing was stolen or damaged, the studio placed a guard at the set 24 hours a day. This guard protected the fake gold bars, which were actually props made to look like the real thing. The set design and the filming choices helped make the movie believable and exciting, even though the entire production was done in England. The attention to detail in constructing the Fort Knox set showed the care the filmmakers took to make every scene look as real as possible. This approach gave the movie a sense of authenticity and helped viewers believe in the story, even when they knew that the American scenes were made entirely in a studio. The use of Pinewood Studios allowed the filmmakers to control every aspect of the environment and lighting, which contributed to the overall quality of the film. The accurate set design and the careful protection of the props demonstrated how much effort went into making Goldfinger a memorable and visually impressive film. The fact that Sean Connery did not travel to the U.S. did not affect the film's success, showing that creativity and detailed craftsmanship can create convincing worlds even without location shooting. All these elements combined to make Goldfinger a classic in the James Bond series and a showcase for skilled set design and studio work. Despite the initial resistance of Aston Martin to supporting the film, they eventually provided cars for Goldfinger without charging the producers as a gesture of support and belief in the project. The film's success, especially at the box office, helped the brand become iconic through its association with James Bond. On the casting side, the producers initially considered Orson Welles for the role of the villain Goldfinger, attracted by his strong screen presence and reputation. However, Welles' high fee made him too expensive for the production budget, leading the filmmakers to cast Gert Fröbe instead, a German actor who was more affordable. Fröbe's portrayal of Goldfinger became memorable, and is still recognized today as one of the classic Bond villains. The decision to go with Fröbe proved to be a good one, as his performance added a unique and memorable dimension to the film. Overall, these decisions about cars and casting played a significant role in shaping the film's success and lasting popularity. The collaboration with Aston Martin and the casting choices remain notable parts of the film's history. After examining the 1964 movie Goldfinger, it becomes clear that costume design played a significant role in emphasizing the character's personality and the film's overall style. Goldfinger himself is often seen wearing bright yellow or gold outfits in nearly every scene, creating a sense of wealth, power, and extravagance that matches his character's obsession with gold. This use of color helps make him visually striking and memorable. Additionally, he carries a gold revolver when dressed in a U.S. Army uniform, reinforcing his affinity for gold and wealth while also adding an element of danger and sophistication. Meanwhile, the production of the movie attracted many notable figures, including author Ian Fleming, the creator of James Bond. Fleming visited the set in April 1964, just a month before he passed away. His visit marked a special moment for the filmmakers, as it confirmed the connection between his literary work and the on-screen adaptation. Fleming's presence was a testament to the importance of the Bond series and the influence of his stories on popular culture. Furthermore, Goldfinger was notable for featuring Harold Sakata in his first role on the big screen, playing the character of Oddjob. Sakata's portrayal of Oddjob became iconic, especially because of his character's silent, deadly nature and the distinctive hat with a razor-sharp brim. This role marked the start of Sakata's career in entertainment, leading him to opportunities in films, television, and other media. The character's unique weapon and compelling presence made Oddjob a memorable addition to the Bond universe and contributed to the film's lasting popularity. After filming began for the 1964 movie Goldfinger, Sean Connery, who played James Bond, injured his back during a fight scene. This injury caused a delay in the filming schedule, making it take longer to finish the movie. Despite the setback, the producers managed to continue with the filming, but Connery's injury slowed down the process. Interestingly, some believe that this injury may have helped Connery negotiate a better deal for his next Bond movie, because it showed the physical toll the role was taking on him. When Goldfinger was released, it became very popular with audiences. It did very well in theaters, earning around $130 million in ticket sales worldwide. This made it the second most popular Bond film at that time. Only Thunderball, another Bond movie, sold more tickets and made about $140 million. The success of Goldfinger helped build the Bond franchise and made it even more famous. Connery's role in bringing the character to life and his performance in the movie became iconic. Although the injury was a setback during filming, the film's popularity proved that it was a big success, and it remains one of the most well-loved movies in the James Bond series. Many years after the release of the classic 1964 movie Goldfinger, the influence of the film extended beyond the realm of entertainment and into the personal interests of individuals like Steven Spielberg. Known for his love of movies and fascination with technology, Spielberg was notably inspired by the gadgets and stylish designs seen in the James Bond film. He decided to purchase an Aston Martin, the same type of car driven by James Bond in the film, because of Goldfinger's impact. The choice was not just about owning a luxury vehicle, but about capturing a piece of movie history. Spielberg customized his Aston Martin with a variety of gadgets reminiscent of those seen in the film. These included overriders, which provided extra protection on the bumpers, and a dedicated weapons tray built into the car for carrying different tools or armaments. The car's headlights were modified to have spike firing capabilities, giving it a more menacing look, and practical defense features. Additionally, he installed a radio telephone, an early form of in-car communication that allowed for quick contact with others, which was quite advanced for that time. One of the more unique features was a grenade thermos, a cleverly disguised container that could carry and deploy small explosive devices discreetly. These enhancements made Spielberg's Aston Martin not just a means of transport, but a mobile gadget collection inspired by a legendary spy movie. His love for the film and its gadgets reflected the enduring appeal of Goldfinger and James Bond's sophisticated, high-tech vehicles. Many fans admired how Spielberg brought a piece of movie magic into his own life through these modifications, illustrating the lasting influence of the 1964 film. The combination of cinematic inspiration and technical ingenuity created a remarkable car that paid homage to the excitement and intrigue of the Bond universe. In 1964, the James Bond film Goldfinger faced several challenges related to sponsorship, gender roles, and censorship that reflected the societal attitudes of the time. Chrysler Corporation, which sponsored the movie's American television release, demanded the removal of a line referencing car fatalities to make the film more suitable for TV audiences. This indicates how advertisers influenced the content by requesting changes that aligned with their standards and the expectations of viewers. Meanwhile, the film also highlighted gender roles through its characters, especially Miss Galore, a prominent figure with a name that was considered provocative by the standards of the era. Interestingly, some scenes featuring Miss Galore's flying circus were played by men in wigs, a choice that might have been made to navigate the censorship rules or production costs, but it added a layer of complexity to the portrayal of female characters in the film. Goldfinger was notable not only for its story, but also for pushing the boundaries of what was acceptable on screen at the time. Its suggestive name, and the hints of sexuality involved in Miss Galore's character made it stand out and caused controversy, demonstrating how the film challenged the limits set by societal norms and censorship authorities. These elements reveal how the movie navigated the delicate balance between entertainment and propriety, reflecting the cultural tensions of the early 1960s. In the 1964 film Goldfinger, Honor Blackman, who played the character Pussy Galore, expressed her strong opinions about her co-star Sean Connery. She did not hold back in criticizing him for accepting a knighthood while living outside of Britain. Blackman believed that it was inappropriate for Connery to receive such an honor without maintaining a stronger connection to his home country. Her remarks reflected her personal views on patriotism and the importance of staying true to one's roots. Meanwhile, the movie also had a significant impact on the popularity of the Aston Martin car. In Goldfinger, the Aston Martin DB5 became instantly famous, earning the nickname of the most famous car in the world. Its appearance in the film showcased its sleek design and advanced features, which captivated viewers and made it a symbol of style and sophistication. As a result of its prominent role in the movie, sales of the Aston Martin increased dramatically by about 50%. The car's association with James Bond and its stylish image helped it become a coveted item among car enthusiasts and fans of the film. The success of Goldfinger in both film history and car sales cemented the Aston Martin's place as an iconic vehicle, a symbol of luxury and adventure that continues to be celebrated even decades later. After considering the details provided, it is interesting to note that the 1964 movie Goldfinger played a significant role in showcasing various iconic vehicles that captured the audience's attention both on and off-screen. For young fans, the toy version of the Aston Martin DB5 became highly popular due to its impressive features, such as a flipping license plate, and other gadgets that brought excitement and imagination to playtime. This toy was modeled after the real car seen in the film, allowing children to feel connected to the movie's thrilling scenes. Moreover, the film marked a notable moment with the first appearance of the Ford Mustang, driven by Tilly Masterson. This model was different from other cars seen before in movies, making its debut in Goldfinger, and setting a new standard for muscle cars on the big screen. Ford's contribution to the film extended beyond this single vehicle. The automaker supplied numerous cars used throughout the movie, including the CIA agents' Thunderbirds, which were specially modified for various stunts and action scenes. Additionally, Ford provided the goon cars belonging to the antagonist Goldfinger's henchmen, which added to the intense and stylish atmosphere of the film. These cars not only helped create memorable moments, but also displayed Ford's commitment to quality and innovation, allowing the filmmakers to execute exciting chase scenes and action sequences with a fleet of impressive vehicles. The presence of these different cars in Goldfinger played a vital role in demonstrating the brand's versatility and appeal, leaving a lasting impression on viewers. The combination of iconic vehicles, innovative gadgets, and the debut of the Mustang helped make Goldfinger a landmark in cinematic history, influencing car design and movie culture for years to come. Goldfinger premiered in London in September 1964, and then in the United States in December of the same year. The movie was shown on many screens across the country, making it widely available to viewers. Its debut was a significant event in the film industry, as it marked the start of the James Bond series' rise to popularity. Over time, Goldfinger has become a well-known and beloved classic film. It is remembered not only for its exciting story and memorable characters, but also for how it influenced the way movies were made and shown. The film had a strong impact on censorship rules, helping to change what was acceptable to show on screen. Many scenes and lines from the movie became famous and helped shape pop culture. Its success led to many sequels and inspired countless other spy movies. Even today, Goldfinger is considered one of the greatest films in the James Bond series, and it continues to be celebrated as an important part of movie history. The film's style, music, and performances all contributed to its enduring status and influence. All of these reasons help explain why Goldfinger remains a classic movie, still talked about and enjoyed long after its initial release. Goldfinger, released in 1964 and directed by Guy Hamilton, stands as one of the most iconic and influential entries in the James Bond franchise, yet it also exemplifies the complexities and contradictions that often accompany classic films. Upon its release, it was a massive commercial success, and has been celebrated over the decades as a quintessential Bond film, shaping the franchise's identity with its memorable characters, innovative gadgets, and action sequences. However, critical examination reveals both the strengths that have cemented its legacy and the flaws that temper its reputation. At the core of Goldfinger's enduring appeal is its villain, Auric Goldfinger himself. Portrayed with menace and charisma, he is often considered the quintessential Bond adversary. His meticulous plans involving gold smuggling, an industrial laser in his lair, and a dramatic, sinister presence lend gravitas and flair to the narrative. The henchman Oddjob, with his distinctive lethal hat and stoic demeanor, further enhances the villain's formidable aura. These characters are among the franchise's most memorable, contributing to the film's status as a classic. The plotting revolves around Goldfinger's elaborate scheme to irradiate the Fort Knox gold reserve, offering a compelling and high-stakes antagonist motivation that injects tension and excitement into the story. In terms of production and technical achievements, Goldfinger broke new ground with its inventive gadgetry, a hallmark of the Bond series. From the Aston Martin DB5 equipped with hidden weapons and tracking devices to Kia's debut showcasing cutting-edge technology, these elements added a layer of glamour and intrigue that captivated audiences. Scenes featuring the Aston Martin, in particular, have become iconic symbols of the franchise. The film's direction by Guy Hamilton effectively balanced spectacle with narrative momentum, ensuring that action sequences were both thrilling and visually engaging. Despite these strengths, the film also exhibits notable flaws that have sparked criticism over the years. One glaring issue is the logic and coherence within the plot. A prime example is Goldfinger's conversation with his associates, where he reveals his entire plan and invites them to join, only to dispose of them shortly after. This contrivance feels forced and serves primarily as a plot device to advance the story for Bond to overhear the scheme. Such scenarios strain credibility and highlight moments of questionable storytelling. Additionally, Goldfinger's decision to leave a key female character, Pussy Galore, unsupervised in a position to foil his plans is perplexing, raising questions about his intelligence and strategic planning. These elements detract from the film's realism and consistency. The film's portrayal of female characters introduces one of its most controversial aspects. Pussy Galore, portrayed as a strong and independent woman initially aligned with Goldfinger, becomes a pivotal figure in the story. However, her character arc is marred by problematic elements, notably the scene in which Bond forces himself upon her, a moment widely regarded as problematic and reflective of the era's sexist attitudes. Her subsequent volte-face, switching sides after being coerced, reinforces a troubling narrative motif of male domination and manipulation. While some argue that the sexism in Bond films is often exaggerated or outdated, Goldfinger stands out as a particularly egregious example within the series, demonstrating gender dynamics that are now considered unacceptable. This aspect clouds the film's legacy, especially as contemporary audiences and critics scrutinize its treatment of women. In its overall assessment, Goldfinger embodies both the best and worst of the James Bond formula. Its standout villain, innovative gadgets, and memorable scenes have cemented its place in cinematic history. Yet, its plot inconsistencies and deeply problematic portrayals of women paint a more complicated picture. Some viewers see it as a pioneering and fun adventure that defined a genre, while others criticize it for perpetuating outdated stereotypes and sexist tropes. The film's influence is undeniable, shaping the archetype of the suave, gadget-laden spy and introducing elements that would become staples of the franchise. However, it also serves as a reminder of the era's cultural sensitivities and the necessity of critical viewing in the present day. In conclusion, Goldfinger is a film of compelling dualities. It is a landmark in cinematic history that contributed significantly to the evolution of the spy genre and the James Bond character, particularly through its unforgettable villain and technological innovations. Yet, its narrative flaws and problematic gender portrayals remind us of the importance of context and evolving social standards. As such, it remains both celebrated and criticized, a film that captures the glamour and flaws of its time, deserving of recognition for its cultural impact while also warranting critical reflection on its less progressive elements. It is a complex masterpiece that continues to evoke discussion, admiration, and critique. As we leave the action and intrigue of Goldfinger behind, there's another story waiting to be uncovered, one that delves into the lives of the talented cast who brought these iconic characters to life. Beyond the screen, their journeys took surprising turns, shaping new chapters in their lives and careers. Some vanished from the spotlight, while others found new fame in unexpected ways. What happened to James Bond himself, and the memorable villains and allies that made the film unforgettable? Prepare to discover the compelling, sometimes surprising paths they took after the cameras stopped rolling. This bonus segment offers rare insights and behind-the-scenes secrets that will deepen your connection to Goldfinger and its legendary cast. Stay with us as we reveal the fascinating stories that follow the credits. Gert Frobis's portrayal of Auric Goldfinger in the 1964 James Bond film stands as one of the most memorable and menacing performances in cinematic history. His depiction of the wealthy, ruthless gold smuggler embodied a cold, calculating intelligence layered with an almost satanic charm. Frobis's voice delivered sly menace beneath the surface of his stern, imposing face, making Goldfinger both terrifying and compelling. His physical presence and piercing gaze created a sinister aura that haunted audiences long after the credits rolled. Off-screen, Frobis's life was marked by stark contrasts. Born in Germany during turbulent times, he faced personal hardships early, including the aftermath of World War II, which marred his childhood with loss and instability. His career was initially slow to take off, but the role of Goldfinger catapulted him into international fame. Yet, beneath the success lurked darker truths. Frobis was often scrutinized for his past associations and rumored involvement during wartime, although no concrete evidence tarnished his reputation. Later in life, his career waned, plagued by health issues and personal struggles. In his final years, Frobis avoided public attention, living quietly in Germany, shrouded in mystery. His death was quiet, with little media coverage, leaving fans to wonder about the shadows that followed him through a life filled with triumphs and undelivered promises. Latest reports suggest he passed away in 1988, a life ultimately shrouded in silence, hinting at stories still left untold. Les Tremayne portrayed the radio newsman in the 1964 film Goldfinger, a role that underscored his ability to bring a sense of professionalism and quiet authority to the screen. His character served as a voice of truth amid the chaos, capturing the attention of audiences with a steady, unwavering tone. This role, although small, fit into his larger career marked by a reputation for commanding voice work and character acting in films and television. Tremayne's career spanned decades, revealing a man deeply committed to his craft. Yet behind this professionalism lay a life shadowed by personal struggles that often stayed hidden from the public eye. Rumors circulated of financial difficulties and failed marriages, which added a layer of darkness to his otherwise steady outward appearance. Some sources suggest that his later years were marred by health issues and a sense of professional obscurity, as the Hollywood spotlight moved away from character actors like him. An intriguing aspect of his life was his private nature, which fueled speculation about hidden hardships and unspoken regrets. The last known information about Tremayne indicates he largely withdrew from public life in his final years, living quietly away from fame's bright glow. His legacy remains tied to his understated but vital contributions to film and television, yet much of his personal story remains shrouded in mystery. Desmond Llewellyn's portrayal of Q in the 1964 film Goldfinger established him as the quintessential gadget master behind the iconic James Bond franchise. His role was characterized by a calm intelligence and a dry wit that brought a unique blend of humor and seriousness to the spy universe. Llewellyn's performance gave audiences a sense of reliability and ingenuity, making Q an indispensable figure in Bond's world. Beyond cinema, Llewellyn dedicated decades to the character, becoming a symbol of technological innovation within the spy genre. Off-screen, Llewellyn's life was marked by a mix of personal turmoil and resilience. He faced significant hardships, including being caught in the chaos of World War II, which disrupted his early life and career. Later, controversies emerged around his personal life, with rumors of affairs and financial struggles clouding his reputation. Llewellyn also endured the emotional toll of being typecast, feeling a sense of stagnation in his career despite his popularity. Tragically, Llewellyn's life ended quietly in 1999 in a car accident in Sussex, casting a shadow over his legacy. He was 85 years old at the time. His death closed a chapter of a man who had given so much to film and storytelling but also endured personal battles behind the scenes. Today, his impact remains, with fans and film historians remembering him as the definitive Q, a symbol of ingenuity and steadfastness in a turbulent world. Sean Connery's portrayal of James Bond in the 1964 film Goldfinger established him as the definitive and most iconic actor in the role. His Bond exuded a mix of charm, coldness, and danger, creating an image that would define the character for generations. Connery's performance was marked by a commanding presence, sharp wit, and a rugged masculinity that resonated deeply with audiences. This role propelled his career into international stardom, but it also cast a shadow over his personal life. Off-screen, Connery faced early hardships, including a difficult childhood in Scotland marked by poverty and turmoil. His rise to fame was not without struggle. He was known for his intense, sometimes turbulent personality, and conflicts with Hollywood studios over typecasting and pay disputes. His career was punctuated by controversies, including accusations of political indecisiveness, and allegations that at times he appeared aloof or dismissive of critics and fellow actors. Life beyond the camera was fraught with challenges. Connery endured 7 marriages, personal betrayals, and health issues that became more evident in later years. He was also vocal about political opinions, often stirring debate with outspoken comments on issues like Scottish independence and international affairs. The last public records show Connery withdrawing from the limelight in the 2010s, suffering from health declines, and leading a relatively private life. Despite his complex legacy, his influence remains indelible, shaping the very fabric of the spy genre and Hollywood history. Shirley Eaton's portrayal of Jill Masterson in the 1964 film Goldfinger remains an iconic image in cinematic history. Her role, marked by the haunting scene of her painted gold body, symbolized both beauty and tragedy, embedding her in the dark allure of the Bond universe. This visual became a cultural marker, instantly recognizable, and often referenced, representing the glamour and peril surrounding secret agents. Beyond her fleeting yet unforgettable appearance, Eaton's career extended into numerous other films and television roles. However, her life outside the screen contains shadows darker than her on-screen persona. She faced personal hardships, including battles with health issues and struggles to maintain her privacy amid fame. She also endured moments of scandal, most notably the false rumor of her dying from a drug overdose, which she publicly discredited, revealing how fame can distort reality and affect personal peace. Shirley Eaton's later years brought little media attention, and she withdrew from public view. The last confirmed reports indicate she retired from acting and lives a quiet, private life, far from the spotlight. Despite the passage of time, her role as Jill Masterson remains her most enduring legacy, a symbol of a luminous yet tragic figure caught in the web of Hollywood's darker side. Lois Maxwell's portrayal of Miss Moneypenny in the 1964 film Goldfinger marked a pivotal moment in her career, defining her as the quintessential secretarial figure of the James Bond universe. Her role, though secondary, carried a subtle mix of charm and intelligence, embodying a mysterious aura that hinted at deeper layers beyond her on-screen persona. Maxwell's performance was marked by a quiet resilience and subtle wit, capturing the complexity of her character amid the high-stakes world of espionage. Off-screen, Maxwell's life was shadowed by personal hardships and struggles with her career's typecasting, which often limited her roles and opportunities in Hollywood. She faced industry rejection and was sometimes pigeonholed into similar parts, leading to frustration and a sense of stagnation. Her personal life was marked by tragedy and hardship, including the loss of her father at a young age, and ongoing financial struggles that persisted despite her popularity. Maxwell's later years were overshadowed by health issues, compounded by the failure to secure roles that could have revitalized her career. Reports indicate she withdrew from public life after her retirement, with little media coverage about her later days. The last known information suggests she lived quietly, away from the spotlight, until her death in 2007, leaving a legacy of a woman who played a small yet significant part in cinematic history, haunted by personal battles behind the scenes. Burt Kwok portrayed Mr. Ling in the 1964 film Goldfinger, a role that left a subtle yet lasting mark on his career. In the film, Mr. Ling is depicted as a quiet, unassuming figure, but beneath his plain exterior lies a dangerous presence, tasked with key roles in the villain's plans. The character's quiet demeanor masked a cold intelligence, contrasting sharply with the more flamboyant villains of the series. Kwok's performance demonstrated his ability to portray complexity within a limited screen time, earning recognition for his understated acting. After his appearance in Goldfinger, Kwok continued to build a diverse career, mainly recognized for his roles in British television and films. Despite his success, his personal life was shadowed by difficulties. Rumors of strained relationships and challenges in sustaining roles in a competitive industry haunted him. Off-screen, he faced moments of personal hardship, including the struggle to find consistent work amid changing tastes and prejudice. There were whispers about struggles with health issues as his career aged. Notably, Kwok never married, and his private life remained largely private, fueling speculation about loneliness. He endured the toll of aging and rejection in an industry unkind to older actors. In his later years, his health declined, but he remained respected among peers. The last known reports suggest he withdrew from public life, living quietly until his passing. The exact circumstances of his final days remain a mystery, but his legacy as a talented character actor persists. Honor Blackman's portrayal of Pussy Galore in the 1964 James Bond film Goldfinger cemented her place in cinematic history. Her character, a strong, independent woman who initially worked for the villain Auric Goldfinger, became one of the most iconic Bond girls of all time. With her striking beauty and a cool, commanding presence, Blackman brought a sense of power and mystery to the role. Though her character's sexual allure was undeniable, it was her complexity, shifting allegiances, and eventual betrayal of Goldfinger that made her stand out in the franchise. Before Goldfinger, Blackman was well established in British television, particularly for her role as Cathy Gale in the popular series The Avengers. However, it was her performance in the Bond film that truly launched her to international stardom. Despite this, Blackman's career did not solely rely on her iconic Bond role. She continued to act in both film and television, but struggled with being typecast, especially as the tough woman. Her post-Goldfinger career was marked by various successes and challenges. She appeared in a number of films, including The Virgin of Stamboul and Shalako, though none garnered the same level of attention as her Bond role. In the 1970s, she moved into theater, where she found a more satisfying outlet for her talents. Off-screen, Blackman led a somewhat tumultuous personal life. She was married twice, first to actor Maurice Kaufman, with whom she had 2 children. Her second marriage, to director and producer Charles Tannen, was much shorter and ended in divorce. Blackman was no stranger to scandal. She was often seen as a feminist icon due to her strong, independent roles in film and television, yet in interviews, she expressed frustration with the limitations placed on actresses of her generation. Her outspoken nature about the challenges of aging in Hollywood and the treatment of women in the entertainment industry kept her in the public eye, often sparking debates about the roles women were expected to play. In her later years, Blackman focused on a quieter life in retirement, frequently giving interviews about her most famous roles. The last known information about Blackman centers on her passing in 2020 at the age of 94. Her legacy as an icon of strength and independence continues to resonate, though her journey was not without its darker moments. Honor Blackman's life, filled with both triumphs and struggles, stands as a testament to the complexities of fame and the human spirit. Bernard Lee's portrayal of M in the 1964 James Bond film Goldfinger cemented his legacy as a central figure in the Bond franchise. As the head of MI6, Lee's M was a stern, pragmatic, and no-nonsense leader, providing a commanding presence against the chaotic backdrop of Bond's espionage world. His portrayal was marked by its authority, and while his character often remained in the background, his stern interactions with Sean Connery's Bond left an indelible mark on the film. After his role in Goldfinger, Lee continued to reprise his role as M in several subsequent Bond films, from Russia with Love to Moonraker. However, his career outside of Bond films was marked by struggles. Lee faced personal hardships, including financial difficulties, which were exacerbated by the limited range of roles available to him after being typecast as M. His career, though respectable, never reached the same heights as some of his contemporaries. Behind the scenes, Lee battled with his own health issues. His declining health and increasing difficulty with alcohol contributed to a more reclusive lifestyle as he grew older. In 1981, Lee's declining health led to his departure from the role of M, and his character was recast with Robert Brown. Sadly, Bernard Lee passed away on January 16, 1981, at the age of 73. The cause of death was stomach cancer, and his death marked a somber turning point in the history of the Bond franchise. Despite the end of his association with James Bond, Bernard Lee's contribution to the series remains pivotal. His portrayal of M helped shape the very essence of the Bond film structure, balancing Bond's reckless bravado with the calculated, disciplined nature of the MI6 establishment. Martin Benson's role as Solo in the 1964 movie Goldfinger was brief but impactful. His character was one of the henchmen working for the villain Auric Goldfinger, tasked with intimidating and enforcing the villain's plans. Benson's portrayal added a layer of menace and mystery, anchoring the scene's dark tone. Outside the film, Benson's career was marked by a quiet resilience. Born in the early 20th century, he faced numerous hardships during his life, including the turmoil of World War II, which delayed his acting pursuits and caused personal loss. His career spanned stage and screen, yet he remained largely in supporting roles, often cast as villains or authoritative figures. Behind the scenes, Benson struggled with financial instability and health issues that shadowed his later years. Rumors of personal scandals, including allegations of involvement in illegal activities, surfaced, but remained unsubstantiated, adding a layer of suspicion to his private life. In his final years, Benson withdrew from public view, living quietly, shadowed by the weight of his secrets. The last confirmed information places him in a secluded retirement, with little knowledge of his death or current whereabouts. His legacy remains one of darkness and mystery, a quiet figure who played his part in film history's shadowy corners. Harold Sakata's portrayal of Oddjob in the 1964 film Goldfinger left a lasting mark on cinematic history. The role was a sinister, silent enforcer known for his deadly steel bowler hat, exuding an eerie calmness beneath his intimidating exterior. Sakata's imposing stature and unique physicality brought a chilling presence to the character, making Oddjob a symbol of silent menace. After the film, Sakata's career took a complex turn. Despite his initial success as a professional wrestler and actor, his life was marred by personal struggles and behind-the-scenes difficulties. Rumors circulated about his involvement in shady dealings and conflicts with Hollywood figures, though concrete evidence remained scarce. He faced significant hardships, including financial troubles and health issues, which worsened later in life. Sakata's turbulent journey was punctuated by moments of remorse and reflection, as dark clouds often overshadowed his achievements. The last known information indicates he retreated from the limelight, living quietly until his death in 1982. His final years were marked by solitude and unresolved questions about his personal battles. Today, Harold Sakata remains a figure cloaked in mystery, a reminder of both Hollywood's glamour and its shadows. Goldfinger, released in 1964, remains one of the most iconic films in the James Bond series. It introduced the villain Auric Goldfinger, played masterfully by Gert Frobe, and featured memorable characters like Bond's ally, Pussy Galore. The movie was a major milestone, setting standards for spy films with its blend of action, humor, and style. The cast members' lives changed significantly after their roles, with some gaining international fame while others faced personal struggles. Sean Connery's portrayal of James Bond became legendary, solidifying his status as a Hollywood icon. Yet he faced challenges balancing his career and personal life. Shirley Eaton's glamorous performance as Jill Masterson left a lasting impression, although her role came with the challenge of depicting classic femme fatale stereotypes. The film's success also sparked a wave of merchandise and pop culture influences that persisted decades later. Watching Goldfinger today can inspire nostalgia for a time when spy movies defined a generation. Did you see this film as a child? Do you remember the excitement or the feelings it evoked? Share your stories and memories about watching Goldfinger in the comments below. We love hearing how this timeless film has touched your life and brought back your own special